African news update on top Accolade News. Tonight we'll bring you a roundup of the stories shaping Africa and beyond. Political shifts, economic moves, human tragedies and sporting triumphs that define our times. From power struggle to innovation in agriculture, each headline tells a story that touches lives. The headlines: Gabon's ruling UDP secures parliament control. Cameroon awaits election results. Madagascar faces coup tension. Botswana tightens mining rules. Kicking off in Central Africa, President Brice Nguema's Democratic Union of Builders secured a parliamentary majority after Saturday's runoff vote, claiming 55 of 145 seats and outpacing the former ruling Bongo party. The result solidifies Nguema's authority following his 2023 coup and April's election victory, marking the end of Gabon's political transition. From barracks to balance, Nguema has turned a military takeover into a mandate, blurring the line between revolution and restoration. Across the region in Cameroon, voters went to the polls under the gaze of history itself. Cameroon voted on Sunday in an election poised to hand 92-year-old President Paul Biya another 7-year term, extending his 42-year grip on power amid mounting insecurity and economic hardship. With a fragmented opposition and a one-round voting system favoring the incumbent, few expect an upset. As a restless youth watches an aging leader tighten his hold, Cameroon faces the paradox of a young nation ruled by time itself. From election to unrest, Madagascar now teeters on the edge of history repeating itself. In Madagascar's capital, soldiers were cheered by anti-government protesters as President Rajoelina warned of an attempted coup, marking the climax of 3 weeks of Gen Z-led unrest over corruption and economic hardship. The military's fraternization with demonstrators echoes Rajoelina's own 2009 rise through a coup, blurring the line between protector and participant. As tension deepened and loyalty wavers, Madagascar now teeters between deja vu and a new revolution, proof that when history refuses to end, it begins again. Turning to economics, nations are betting on inclusion to secure their future. Botswana has amended its Mines and Minerals Act, requiring mining firms to sell a 24% stake in new concessions to local investors if the state declines its 15% option. The move aims to expand domestic participation in mineral wealth as diamond revenues plunge and economy faces back-to-back contractions. For a nation built on diamonds, Botswana's new law signals a shift from extradition to inclusion, a bet that ownership, not just output, can secure its future. You're watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. Ghana is planting seeds for resilience. Ghana has signed a €154 million agreement with Italy to modernize its agricultural value chain under a 3-year project strengthening agri-food ecosystems in Ghana. The initiative, running through 2027, will develop 10,000 hectares of irrigated farmland for key crops like maize, rice and soya, alongside building schools and ICT hubs to support rural livelihoods. With food security faltering under climate pressure, this partnership sows more than seeds. It plants a blueprint for sustainable resilience. Return to heartbreak on the road. At least 42 people, including 7 children, were killed and 49 injured when a bus carrying Zimbabwean and Malawian nationals plunged down a steep embankment alongside South Africa's N1 highway in Limpopo on Sunday night. Authorities have launched an investigation as President Cyril Ramaphosa mourned the tragedy, calling it a loss shared by our sister states. In a road meant to reunite families, lives were instead shattered, turning a homeward journey into a national mourning. Africa's creative scene faces its own battles. Nigerian music artist Mr. Real has raised alarms over widespread intellectual property theft in the Afrobeat scene, claiming the genre lacks originality and that both upcoming and veteran artists have had their works copied without consent. He highlighted that emerging musicians are most vulnerable, often unable to fight back due to limited support, and suggested even established acts like Blackface and Rema have been involved in such disputes. In a landscape where creativity is currency, Mr. Real's warning underscores that originality is under siege in Afrobeats, and the next hit could be someone else's idea. And finally, a victory to lift spirit across the continent. Morocco's under-20 team booked their place in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup semi-finals with a convincing 3-1 victory over the United States. After taking an early lead, Morocco weathered a first-half equalizer and dominated the second half, scoring twice more to seal the win. The result showcased the team's tactical discipline and attacking prowess, signaling that Morocco's young squad is a serious contender for the tournament title. From politics and power to economics, tragedy and triumph, tonight's headlines remind us that Africa is a continent of contrast, resilience and unrest, innovation and challenge, heartbreak and hope. We'll be here to tell every story because every headline matters. I am Rajoelina Okocha, and this is the African News Update on Top Accolade News, keeping you connected to the pulse of the continent.